It's hard to believe, but I've already put 1,200 miles on my F-150 Lightning, and during that time I found that there's some things that I really like about it, and there's also some things that I would change. But today we're going to look at the glass half full and talk about the 5 things that I like most about the all-new Ford F-150 Lightning. To get things started, the thing that I love most about the Lightning is kind of a no-brainer. It's the reason that I bought the truck, and that is the fact that it doesn't use any gasoline. And the best thing about that is that it has been saving me a lot of money with gas prices sitting at about $6 a gallon. The other vehicle that I've got currently is a 2022 Toyota Tundra, and I love that truck as well. They're both great trucks. I've been really pleased with both of them. But one thing that I definitely dread about the Tundra is the every other week Phillips that costs me about $150 right now. It's painful. It definitely takes away from the satisfaction of driving that truck, and it's something that I don't have to deal with the Lightning. I've really enjoyed the ability to drive this and not worry as much about how much I'm spending on fueling costs. Electricity is pretty cheap in comparison to gasoline. And then even on top of that, there's a lot of free chargers around town that I'm able to plug in when I'm out and about, get a free 20, 30 miles of charge here and there, and not pay for any of those miles. And so that has been extremely satisfying with the Lightning. Another thing that I really appreciate about the Lightning is its practicality, and that's something that traditionally has kind of been lacking within the hybrid and electric category. There are a lot of weird niche vehicles that are quirky and just not all that practical for a lot of people, myself included. But with the Lightning, you're getting a vehicle that's electric, but is also super practical. Inside, it's very spacious, it's very comfortable, it's got a great level of luxury and tech features, great family vehicle. But it's also a pickup. And so you've got a bed. You can put things in the bed. It can tow. It's going to lack a little bit over long distances because the range does diminish significantly when towing. But if you've got the extended battery pack, these can tow up to 10,000 pounds. And so it's going to be great for those short distances as well as for towing in town. And then another thing I found really practical about the Lightning is the frunk, which you don't get on a gasoline pickup. It's nice having this separate space to store things that's separate from the bed and avoids the need to put certain things that you might want to keep protected that generally in a pickup you'd put inside of the cab of the truck in this separate space. The Lightning is also a lot of fun to drive. It is sports car quick. This model has the standard battery pack, which gives you 452 horsepower. And then in the extended range model, that bumps up to 580 horsepower. And both models have a very impressive 775 pound-feet of torque, which is crazy, makes this truck incredibly quick from a standstill. The other thing that's kind of weird about it though is that it's completely silent when you're accelerating hard, and that's a very different experience compared with most other trucks, which tend to be very loud when accelerating. In some ways it takes a little bit away from the experience, but it's fun in its own way. And then of course it makes it a very comfortable vehicle for those longer road trips because it's just a nice, quiet, comfortable cabin. On top of that, the battery pack adds a lot of weight to the vehicle, very low. So it gives it a very low center of gravity and really improves the handling of this truck when cornering. It's not as good for cornering as a sports car. Certainly the straight lines are where it's gonna feel a little bit more like a sports car, but even in those handling situations, compared with your typical pickup, this truck really hugs the corners. The next thing I really love about the Lightning is that it's a great looking truck. And I already mentioned that with a lot of hybrid and electric vehicles that brands have done kind of weird, quirky things to differentiate those models. They've been more of niche vehicles within their lineups. You see that with the Cybertruck where it's kind of weird looking. The new Chevy Silverado EV, it's got kind of a funky look to it. And with the Lightning, Ford said, hey, the F-150 has been a very popular model, best-selling truck in the US for over 40 years. Why change a good thing? And so what you're getting here is essentially the gas-powered F-150 with an electric powertrain. It's got a few minor tweaks to the aesthetic. You get a revised front fascia, revised taillights. In my opinion, just the right amount of touches to differentiate this from the gas model, give it a slightly more modern appearance to go along with the fact that it's electric, but not doing anything weird, and the final result is a great-looking electric truck. And lastly, the Lightning is a really good value. It used to be an even better value when it was first introduced, with pricing ranging from about $42,000 to $92,000, depending on trim package. That's gone up significantly in the last year due to supply chain issues and inflation, and now that ranges from about $53,000 to almost $100,000 for the top-end Platinum trim package. Well, starting off with the base Pro model of the Lightning, it is an incredible value. I had a chance to experience one of those for a few weeks. It comes with a very high level of standard options and features, and it's got the same powertrains that you get in these higher end trim packages. It is a bargain for what you're getting. But I think even as you move up to these higher end trim packages, there's still a case to be had for the value proposition. Not as much so as the base model, but I mentioned earlier that I've also got a 2022 Toyota Tundra. It's a great truck, very similarly equipped to this Lariat model in terms of features. And if you were gonna buy that truck today, you'd probably be looking at maybe $60,000 to $65,000 to get the same truck that I have. With the Lightning, you're looking at about $76,000 to $77,000. So it is more expensive for the Lightning. But the reality is that if you look at gasoline-powered vehicles compared with their EV counterparts, generally EV vehicles are way more expensive. And percentage-wise, the difference between the Tundra and the Lightning is pretty small. And so the fact that you're getting a truck that's very similarly equipped for not a whole lot more money says a lot about the value case. Now, with both the base models and these higher-end trim packages, the other thing that you've got to factor in are potential tax credits, EV tax credits at the federal level, as well as at the state level, and in some places even more local. County and cities offer additional tax credits, which really close that differential. Where I live, it's $10,000, and for a low-income household, that drops to like $12,500. Really closes that gap between the Tundra and the Lightning. And then of course, you're saving a lot of money on gasoline as well. And so long-term, the Tundra might actually be a lot more expensive than the Lightning. So there you have it, 5 things that I like most about the all-new Ford F-150 Lightning. In my next video upload, we'll take a glass half empty approach and talk about 5 things that Ford could have done better. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And for more videos of the all-new Lightning, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.